So, what's happening in India right now? Well, a massive political firestorm is brewing. We're talking about the two biggest parties, the ruling BJP and the opposition Congress, locked in a battle that is way more than just typical politics. This is really a fight over two completely different visions for India's future, and it is all coming to a head. And right at the heart of it all are two questions that just can't both be true. Is this a real, genuine fight to save the very soul of Indian democracy? Or is it all just a cleverly staged and ultimately empty political stunt? Honestly, the answer you get depends entirely on who you ask. So, how did this whole thing kick off? What was the spark that lit the fuse on this political firestorm? Well, it was a single public march, a very deliberate move designed from the start to grab the national spotlight and draw a clear line in the sand. It's called the Voter Adhikar Yatra, which literally translates to the Voter Rights March. It was launched by the Congress Party, along with its ally, the RJD, and on paper, it's a public campaign all about protecting the rights of every single voter. But as you can probably guess, there's a lot more going on beneath the surface. And this wasn't just some random local protest. The location was everything. The campaign was strategically launched in the absolutely crucial battleground state of Bihar. By starting there, the Congress Party was basically firing the first shot, signaling that this was the opening move in a much, much bigger political war. All right, so first, let's unpack the story from the Congress Party's perspective. The way they tell it, this isn't just about trying to win an election, it's about survival. I mean, just look at their own words. The party has officially framed this whole thing as a fight to save the Constitution and democracy. That is some pretty heavy language, right? They're positioning themselves as the last line of defense for India's founding principles against what they see as a really serious threat. So to back that up, Congress is pointing to a whole list of complaints against the ruling BJP. They're alleging everything from voter suppression and the slow erosion of democracy to serious economic pain points, like rising unemployment and high inflation. And notice the focus here. They're also making a direct appeal to really key groups by highlighting farmer distress and a lack of jobs for young people. Okay, so as you can imagine, the ruling BJP was not just going to take these accusations sitting down. They responded, and they responded fast and forcefully, launching a really powerful counter-narrative of their own. And their counterattack was sharp. Union Minister Giriraj Singh went for this powerful mythological metaphor, comparing the Congress Party to the villain Khans, and declaring that, quote, their destruction is certain. Wow. I mean, that's not just a political rebuttal, that's a cultural and symbolic attack. The core of the BJP's argument is actually pretty simple. They and their political allies have dismissed the entire Voter Adhikar Yatra as nothing more than a political drama. Just a big show, something designed to mislead the public and hide what they see as Congress's own failures. Prime Minister Modi himself led the charge, and he basically flipped the script entirely. He accused Congress of being the ones who trampled the Constitution, labeling them a party of dynasty politics and corruption. He even pointed out their history of keeping old colonial-era laws on the books and argued that all their talk about protecting the Constitution is just hollow symbolism. So this leaves us with two completely opposite stories, both in a battle for the hearts and minds of the Indian public. Let's just break it down side by side. It makes it super clear. On one side, you have the Congress story. The nation is in danger, its democracy and its economy are being destroyed by the BJP, and this march is a righteous movement for the people. On the other side, you've got the BJP story. Congress is a corrupt, dynastic party putting on a desperate political drama to hide its own failures. And the result of these clashing narratives is that both parties have now shifted into full-blown campaign mode. The rhetoric is getting tougher, and they're focusing all their energy and resources on those key electoral battlegrounds, places like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, where the next big elections will really be won or lost. But this whole showdown isn't just about today. You really have to see this as the opening act of a much larger political drama, one that's going to define the next few years. What we're watching right now, this intense back and forth, is essentially the starting gun for India's next major national election cycle. The narratives being built today are going to form the foundation of the campaigns to come. So if you look out at the political horizon, 2025 is going to be the first big test. That's when key state elections will give us a real-world measurement of which narrative is resonating more with voters. And that will lead directly into 2026, when the buildup for the next Lok Sabha, the national elections, begins for real. And it all leaves us with this one fundamental question. When two powerful forces are telling two completely different stories about a nation, it's the voters who decide which one becomes reality. So in this epic battle of narratives, you have to wonder, who gets to write the final chapter?